Greetings and various assorted salutations. What this update is for is to kind of give the last assignments for ancient civilizations for the remainder of the semester. Essentially, the plan is to allow students to have the maximum amount of work time before the end of the semester. I've crunched in and managed to get all the assignments built, and they'll be deploying over the next few days. Just to kind of tell you about the last few units we're looking at. We've had the Roman Republic available for quite some time now, and what we have left is the Mayan civilization, the Aztec Empire, the Inca Empire, and then we have a little bit on the Byzantines and the medieval ages. Over the next few days, they should be auto-posting. But I've got the introductory lectures to the Maya, the Inca, and the Aztecs coming out. And so by the end of this week, they will all be released, and you can view them. And then we've got some activities for each of these. Some of these activities include, in the Mayan section, after the introduction, you can learn more about the language of the Maya, and a little bit on the Aztecs as well are included in here. And then there's an activity that looks at the Mayan calendar. You know, the one that said the world was supposed to end in 2012, except it actually didn't. You're going to learn how that calendar actually works and a little bit on how it was made in this activity. Moving on to the Aztecs. After watching the introductory lecture to the Aztecs, we've got some activities. One of these activities is looking at the warfare of the Aztecs versus the Spanish, the conquistadors. You're going to have a little conflict over that, looking at that. There's a little video on the big city of the Aztec capital. And then, of course, we've got special topics. The special topics look at Cortez's translator, or there's a primary source account, so what Hernan Cortez saw when he came to the Aztec capital, and then there's an article on what wiped out the Aztecs. It's the same drill as always. You pick one, and that's what you focus on for your writing prompt. The Inca is a smaller unit. After the introduction, which is actually a bit long. I do recommend watching the introduction. In this introduction, I actually talk a lot more about the pop culture around these ancient civilizations in the Americas, because there's a lot of misconceptions about them, and I spend quite a bit of time talking about that in this video as well. And then for the last special topics in the Inca, we've got child sacrifice in Incan civilization, because the Inca aren't noted for sacrifice, except in very specific circumstances, and so this looks at that. And then there's another article that looks at what are the legacies of the Andes. If you ever get the chance to go to the Andes mountain range, you can still see a lot of the legacy of the Inca. And of course, you pick one of these two articles, and that's what you focus on for your special topic article. Now, the Byzantines, I'm still working on that right now. I'm hoping to have it fully finished soon. But one of the things I've included is something on the Black Death. In talking with students, there's been a great deal of interest on the bubonic plague and how it operated and what kind of made it end. Unfortunately, we don't know the answer to that, spoiler alert. But this activity is designed to look at what happened in the medieval ages, what happened with the Black Death. And it's got some stories with that. I might add another activity with the Byzantines, probably an introductory lecture or something. But we're rapidly reaching the end of the semester, and I want to make sure that students have time to complete all the assignments that are issued. And so this concludes the summary of things. The last thing I might add, I mentioned it to my U.S. History 2 students earlier, but I'm planning on adding an exit survey that kind of asks about the different assignments I gave and kind of asks questions about what worked, what didn't work with online education during our lovely COVID closures. Because I'm kind of hoping that I can take the knowledge from this experience and use it to build better classes and, well, prepare for the future, whatever that may bring. Though I will say this about Ancient Civ, like U.S. History 2, Ancient Civ has completed all of its stated objectives. We have progressed quite well through everything and gotten done what we expected to get done. There has been some modifications, of course, but we've managed to keep pace even as the world grinded to a halt. So, with all that being said, until later.